Daughters, man.
4 daughters?
4 daughters, 1 boy.
Ooh, is it stressful? What made you decide to get into therapy?
My attitude, when you don't get your way, you know, the selfishness tends to poke out a little bit. I just say, like, mental health is just so important. We don't take it serious. I don't know why black people don't take mental health.
Everybody wants to sweep it under the rug and just go.
I actually graduated, so I don't do weekly therapy anymore. I do it once a month now.
Okay.
So I just graduated from weekly to once a month. And first thing one of my cousins was like, hey, bro, you ain't crazy. You good?
It's not about being crazy, though. It's about wanting to have peace.
So just being out, I actually met her on her birthday, and she has a twin sister. They had came to the DJ booth, and it was like, oh, hey, Ferrari. And then I took a picture with them.
Yeah.
But they're identical. I always liked my wife, though.
How did you know? You had a lot of combos?
It was just a weird, no, I didn't have a long combo there.
Uh-huh. When did you know that you wanted to propose to her?
She took me to Hawaii for my birthday.
Ooh.
And I was like, and she didn't let me pay for anything. Now, keep in mind, I'm not trying to make it seem transactional.
Welcome to the xoMAN podcast. I'm your host, Kiara Walker.
They say men don't talk. They hold it all in, never let their guard down. But here, we like to do things differently. I sit down with Black men from all walks of life, actors, singers, entrepreneurs, athletes, and everyday guys, to peel back the layers of who they are beyond the stereotypes. A space where Black men get to be real, raw, and unfiltered. We're talking about relationships, love, success, struggles, fears, and the parts of masculinity that don't always get the spotlight. Some conversations will challenge what you think you know. Some might make you laugh, and some might just make you look at the men in your life a little differently. So whether you're here to learn or just hear some dope conversations, you're in the right place. So pull up, listen in, and let's have the conversations that matter. It's time for the xoMAN podcast to begin.
Welcome back to the xoMAN podcast. I'm your host, Kiara Walker, and today we are joined by my friend, Mr. Ferrari Simmons. What's up, Ferrari?
What's happening?
Not much. You guys, I have known Ferrari for like 50 years, and I'm not even that old yet. So thank you so much for coming today. Ferrari is a vet in the radio industry. He has been in radio for so long, and he's also mentored a lot of people. He has DJ'd. You've worked with record labels. He's a father. He's a husband. We were just talking about how he's having to do hair for his babies.
4
someday.
daughters, man.
4 daughters?
4 daughters, 1 boy.
Ooh. Is it stressful?
No, they're going to take care of me.
Well, that's good.
They do a good job now, too.
And how old are they?
You ready?
Yeah.
1, 7,
Ooh.
13, 16, 21.
21. 21 is your daughter, right?
That's my oldest.
Mm-hmm. Is she already like...
She in college, but she cool. Like, she's close. She's very close. Got a
That's
boyfriend
a beautiful...
now.
Ooh.
I don't like that, but it's all good.
I was just about to ask how you feel about... Cool. Why don't you like that she's a boyfriend?
You know, as a parent, you want to protect your kid. That's just just an attribute of being a parent.
Yeah.
But they got to go out and make mistakes and have fun and learn. So, you know, sometimes boyfriends I was that boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I used to be outside. So.
You had some experiences.
Yeah.
Okay, before we learn more about all of that, we are going to play a quick game of red flag, green flag with Ferrari. Okay, so the first one, they lack boundaries.
Red flag.
They don't know how to handle or take feedback.
Oh, red flag.
They are an oversharer.
That's a green flag.
Really?
Yeah, overshare.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm not tripping on that.
Okay. They have a shopping addiction.
Is there a yellow flag?
Everybody keeps asking for the yellow. Yeah, you can have a yellow. What would make it yellow?
I mean, that could be good or bad. It could be good if you manage your money and then you decide to treat yourself and you have a shopping habit based on that. But then sometimes people could be bad with money and then that's not good.
Yeah, I've had to stop checking out on Amazon every day. Like the amount of packages.
That's cool.
It's good,
I'm not tripping
but then
on that.
It's like I'm buying stuff that I don't necessarily need or that I thought I needed or wanted and I don't use it. And now I got too much stuff.
Okay,
so then
red
it's like
flag.
you got to replace, you know, you got to.
Red flag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the addiction part, we got to dial it back in. Okay, they believe in traditional gender roles.
Oh,
Right.
that's red flag. 2025.
Okay, they're obsessed with social media.
Red flag.
I feel like it's childish too. I would want to
You can
scream
be
at people
obsessed in
grow
different
up.
ways, though.
What ways would be okay?
Because people, if they make money on social media, I'm not tripping
You
on that.
can be
You gotta
on it
be
and
that a
work.
lot.
Yeah.
But then that makes you obsessed with it too, because you be like, I need to make more money,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm not making enough money.
That's true.
So that's a different type of obsession.
It is.
Obsession.
It would still be a red flag for me though, because I'm like, get off your phone and
This
let's
is true.
enjoy real life.
Red
Touch
flag.
grass. Okay. They have body insecurities.
Oh, it's red flag. Come on, give me some green flags. What are you doing?
Look. Okay. They bring up that they just got tested on a first date and want to immediately share results.
That's a green flag. But
I
damn,
think
you gotta
it's
do it
good.
on the first date.
Right. Like maybe the first time
What
you
if the
think
first
you're going to
date's at a
be
coffee shop?
intimate. Yeah. Like we just
We
pulling
talking
out
about-
results.
We pulling out results.
Am I a working woman? Like what's going on?
Oh man.
I don't have any green flags for you, I guess. You said some of those were green flags. You don't mind an overshare and things like that. I don't mind somebody who likes to share, but sometimes an overshare, I'm like, it makes me nervous to share with the overshare.
Sometimes the oversharer wants you to share back.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in therapy now, so I be breaking a lot of stuff down. So
I think
I'm an overthinker.
Oh yeah. Overthinking.
I analyze everything.
What do you think that comes from?
That comes with my age. I'm 42 now, so I'm deciding whether I want to leave the house for certain things based off of the tone of when you call me to tell me what we finna do today.
Yeah.
Your tone says we gonna be out later than I need to be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, nah, I ain't coming. So I'm thinking like 10 steps ahead.
Yeah. What made you decide to get into therapy?
My attitude. I feel like as a creative, sometimes everyone's different based off of how they are as a person. Mm-hmm. My apologies. As a person. And when you don't get your way, the selfishness tends to poke out a little bit. And it could be a little, when you get a lot of wins and you haven't been taking L's for a while, that can a L can make you really, really frustrated and mad and upset. And I had to figure out how to channel my anger appropriately and set boundaries.
Yeah. When you weren't channeling your anger appropriately, what was Mad Ferrari like?
I was just in a bad mood. Anything would make me upset, or I would be chippy. Mm-hmm. I would say my older kids know, like when dad is in a bad mood. My younger kids have never seen me in a bad mood.
So it's been a while that you've been working on this.
I set boundaries
change.
now.
Yeah. And when would you say this started?
Around an extreme amount of successful times. Because now my schedule is crazy, and I'm getting pulled left and right, and I gotta be a dad. At the time, I was just dating still. You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't know what I wanted to do seriously in the relationship space. So like for me, it was just a lot going on.
Yeah. Now, how did you end up getting into the entertainment industry?
I was always the most popular in middle school, high school. I always got those superlatives, and
big personality.
I'm the person, like if we're in class or we're on a team, I'm cracking jokes and making everybody laugh and getting up and introducing everybody by their nickname or saying something crazy. So in college, I noticed that they had a radio station.
Yeah.
And nobody went in there. So I used to go in there and play around, and went viral a little bit on campus. I don't know how long I have to say this, but it was a pretty crazy experience. And then the local radio station offered me an internship.
Oh, wow.
And then I took that. And that's why I was like, wait, people get health benefits and 401k talking on the radio? I was like,
this is a real job?
This is a real job? My teacher and my people growing up told me that wasn't a real job.
Really?
And when I saw that it was, I started pursuing it.
Yeah, and you're from Florida, right?
I'm originally from West Palm Beach, Florida.
And
Tampa.
Okay, and so what was it like with your family growing up? And what did you think you wanted to do with yourself?
It's sports, man. You South Florida, man. You running football. You playing football, playing basketball. I'm not tall or muscular, so I ran track.
Okay,
I was fast. So
that's a good one.
I ran track in college at USF in Tampa, Florida. I have roots in Tampa. My grandmother's from Tampa. My dad grew up partially in Tampa as well. So that's why you'll always see me in Tampa. My dad lives in Tampa. My mom lives in West Palm. So I ran track in college for a little bit, but then I started playing around with the radio station. And when the internship became available, that's when I was going to grad school and everything.
Yeah.
I dropped out.
What were you in grad school for?
I was communications and journalism.
Yeah.
Like I did a minor in journalism. That's where a lot of my prep and all my, when I do good, I feel like I do really good interviews. But I did communication. So I was just going to, I don't know. I'm first generation getting a college degree. I just knew I needed to go to college. I was like, all right, let's get a master's. I didn't even know what I was going to do.
Did your family ever kind of question what you were doing?
Oh, yeah, they were mad. Because what happened was I dropped out of grad school and they were like, what? Nah. You need to go to FedEx or something. You need to get a job with some health benefits.
Yeah.
And once they said that, I was like, nah, I'm going to show you. And then I just came up with a plan.
Yeah. I think even with my family, I've done a lot of different things, but radio, media, entertainment, and now digital media has been what I've wanted to do. And they didn't really take podcasting serious until I think I was out at brunch or something with my mom, and somebody came up and asked me to take a picture. And she was like, people really be paying attention to that show?
Yes.
And I was like, yes. And then she came when we were touring and she got to see a show. And she was like, oh, okay, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to forget. And then people think there's different ways to make money in radio. Do you feel like, as you've progressed with your career, what's dealing with the pressure like to continue to excel? I know you said that you used to kind of get mad.
It's harsh. It's because you kind of look left and look right, and a lot of the people that you are looking at, or maybe if you look towards someone that has done it before you, they're making upwards of $500,000, and they're far more successful from what your barometer of success is, right?
Yeah.
And that can be discouraging. And I felt like for me, I was just getting discouraged quite often because I was like, man, I didn't come into the game where I was heavily recruited. I came in like, all right, we don't got nothing for you.
Yeah.
Did the internship, that was it. But I was so starving for it. And in Florida, you got to be bilingual. You got to appeal to Spanish and...
Are you bilingual?
No.
Oh.
That's why I moved to Atlanta. But I was always fascinated by Atlanta. I love the music. I do get homesick a lot. I get homesick a lot. But I wouldn't have met my wife. 4 out of the 5 kids I have are all born here. Only one is born in Orlando. Everybody else born in Atlanta, shouted like, lemon pepper 10 smile. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and Orlando be feeling like Puerto Rico.
So Florida... growing up in Florida, first of all, Spanish is not an option. You have to take Spanish in Florida. That's required. So, it was pretty discouraging because, African Americans are a minority in Florida. It's just how you stick out like a sore thumb, especially with me, like with tattoos everywhere, I stick out.
Yeah.
But I don't stick out in Atlanta, and I felt appreciated when I moved up here, or I came up here for a summer, and I said, yeah, I'm moving up here in 3 months. And I had a day job at the time. I was leasing apartments with my camera. I was leasing apartments. I didn't have to drive to work. I woke up, went downstairs. I would show people the model. And then at night, I went to the club and I hosted parties.
Yeah. It does feel different being in Atlanta. I've been in black cities for a long time.
Okay.
And I wouldn't trade it for anything because before I was in Atlanta, I was in D.C.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Chocolate City, man.
And I loved it,
DC's
right?
fire.
Before that, I was in the suburbs of Dallas. Very different. Very Caucasian.
Very.
I would say it was pretty mixed. We had a lot of Hispanic people, a lot of Asian people. There were a lot of black people, but it's different. And when you are surrounded by people who look like you and can relate, it's just a different level of comfort.
I saw somebody, I was literally, when I was visiting Atlanta, someone next to me that looked just like me had a Ferrari, was driving a Ferrari. I had never
Is that how
seen
you came
that
up with
in
the
my
name?
life. Well, Gucci Man and DJ Holiday named me Ferrari.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
So at first I just talked really fast. And DJ Holiday would be like, dog, slow down. You're like a damn Ferrari. And so Gucci Man was right there listening. He was like, that's his name. I was like, oh, damn Ferrari, what? And then I was like,
But it
stuck overnight. It stuck. People hated it when I changed it because I was worn by Sean. And then I changed it to Ferrari.
Yeah.
Everybody hated it for a while.
Really? I like it. Ferrari, you got the hats, you got merch, you got everything.
Yeah.
It fits. Okay, so you moved to Atlanta. You've been here for a while. You're working on radio. I want to talk about your love life and your marriage.
Let's do it.
So some years ago, we were talking, and I remember your face just lighting up, and you were talking about how
My wife.
Yeah, talking about your wife and how wonderful she's been. How did you meet her?
So just being out, I actually met her on her birthday. I was doing a live broadcast on a former radio station, and she has a twin sister. They had came to the DJ booth. They from the east side, so they took a picture with DJ Holiday, and it was like, oh, hey, Ferrari, and then I took a picture with them.
Yeah.
But they're identical. I always liked my wife, though.
How did you know? You had a lot of combos?
It was just a weird, no, I didn't have a long combo there. I was like, damn, girl, you cute. You know what I'm saying? We took a picture, and then well, oddly so, I had went to another party, and I saw her there. And I was like, man, put my number in your phone. And when I was selling my merch, she bought a whole bunch of it. I kept saying, I don't know what's going on. I ain't never seen no girl do nothing like that. Like, I'm not saying like you gotta buy somebody, but I'm just saying like she got her own thing going on. Like, I was just like it just turned me on. Like she's in accounting, so like she make money. She knows how to save money. She knows how to spend money. So she putting me down on things. She teaching me about my credit and stuff like that. I had never had nobody to teach me things like that. And I'm not saying like that's what got me, but it sparked the intrigue.
Yeah.
And I feel like she was intrigued with my lifestyle too, because she never dealt with anybody in my line of work. So I feel
very
like it was
different lifestyles.
It was like a, but one thing about her, we would talk for hours on the phone, and I don't like talking like that.
Really? You talk for a living? I talk for a living,
so when I get off, I be on mute.
What are you like at home? You just be real
goofy.
chill?
I'm real goofy.
Okay.
I'm like very goofy. I'm cracking jokes. I'm talking about people's foreheads. I'm talking about you. Like my 20-year-old, she got a crack every time she walk. It's a snap in her ankle. I'm just cracking jokes on everybody. Like, you got to be on point around me, or I'm gonna get you.
So when did you know that you wanted to propose to her?
She took me to Hawaii for my birthday.
Ooh.
And I was like, and she didn't let me pay for anything. Now, keep in mind, I'm not trying to make it seem transactional.
But it's different.
I would have to take somebody to Hawaii.
Yeah.
She took me. And like, she was like, we were dating, but like, it would be things that she would do. And then I had went to her house, and I was like, wait, she got her own crib, she got her own car, she be cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like, she literally like, she's not a bill, she's an asset.
Yeah, she's teaching you things.
Yeah, she's putting me on, she put me down with some stuff, but she cool though.
Yeah.
You know, we both be cussing. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything was just cool. You know, and I keep in mind, everything's not perfect. However, I just like, everything was like, it was just matching.
Yeah.
And I just kept saying, I've never had this feeling about nobody before.
Now.
It's like a
butterfly.
It's like butterfly. I didn't even know what that meant.
Yeah.
I felt like.
Until it
It's like you're nervous, but you're not nervous.
It's like nervous, but an excited nervous.
Yeah. And at first I felt lame, because I was like, why am I feeling this way about you? And I was like, I gotta embrace this.
Did you talk to any of like your guy friends about it?
Yeah, for sure.
And what would they say?
They would say it first, because they were like, boy, you really like her, boy. You know, first I did the check. Hey man, y'all know her? Like, anybody know her? Anybody seen her? Yeah.
If anybody has said yes.
I mean, I don't know, man. You know, I do. That is an insecurity of mine.
Uh-huh.
I will admit that on camera. I'm very insecure about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because, I'm pretty popular. So, guys use that as like a,
I had your girl.
I had your girl type thing. You know what I'm saying? So like, for me, it was just, she just checked all the boxes, and I never met someone that checked all the boxes before. And I wasn't looking for it. Sometimes you be looking for it. You got standards and stuff like that. She literally like dropped out of the sky. And like, I was like, wait, damn, you're my person.
Yeah.
So everything was just flawlessly done. I was like, I have no problem proposing to her. I called her dad, asked her dad. I called her twin sister, asked her. I called her mom, I asked her. So
when you proposed, how'd you do it?
Oh, first of all, I got a video of it. I never posted it, but it's still in my phone. She was just in a bad mood that day. But I convinced her friends to take her out to eat. It's a restaurant she liked to go. Ray's on the River.
Yes.
It's on the river? Whatever the one is in Vinings. It's one on the river and on the...
There's Ray's on the River and then Ray's in the city. Ray's on the River.
So it's Ray's on the River. So I was like, look, I convinced her friends to take her to dinner, and it's this big green area. I'm going to propose to her right there. I'm going to take them to watch. I'll talk to the restaurant and everything. I actually have this video. I'm going to post it. But she had an attitude because she didn't have nothing to wear that day. And I was fake going to DJ at a day party, but really I was going to set up for her.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't want to go. I'm like, you need to go. She was like, why do I need to go? So we had gotten into an argument. So anyway, she got convinced to go.
Yeah.
She's literally texting me while I'm outside. So I'm like, I can't believe you were so rude. You were just so rude, just dismissing me. I'm over here like, yo.
You don't even know what's coming.
You don't be quiet, cuz. So my hands were sweating. One time for my boy Fly Guy DC, he was there. I had a camera guy and a video guy, Caesar, and then Rias. And her friends were walking. And then I never forget, I was like, hey, T. And she turned around, and like I said, we both cussed. She was like, oh, beep. What the beep? What the beep, beep, beep? You what beep? I was like, yo.
Relax. It's a classy experience.
Beep, beep, beep. You gonna say, yeah, like, I want you to be my wife. Of course, yeah, what the beep? It was like one of those.
Yeah.
And she was crying. So it was cool. It was cool.
That's a beautiful story. Yeah. And kind of funny too. I could see me acting like that because I will get attitude if my
because I tell her
right.
everything. So what happened was I wasn't telling her certain things about my day. So she was like, "What you got going on?
You being weird.
You being weird." So she was on that type of time. And
yeah.
I wasn't revealing anything to her, and then she was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." I was like, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah, because you still wanted to give her that surprise.
I can't plan nothing for her. I tried to plan something on Valentine's Day most recently. She was clocking me.
Yeah.
She be clocking me.
It's hard to do.
That's what you guys do.
Yeah.
I got 4 daughters. They be doing that to me too.
Now, what was it like, your daughters, you had a daughter already?
Yeah, I had her daughter. So I had 2 before her. She had 1 before me.
Okay.
And then we have 2 together.
And so how was it mixing the families?
Blending?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, you know what I'm saying?
What was the hard part?
The hard part was the blending of the schedules. Because the first mother of my child, her and I grew up together, so we went to high school together. And then my second child's mother, I told you I was outside. We went to college together.
Okay.
That's Lil Rari's mom. So it's just sometimes it's two different baby moms. I got to get all that in order, and we had some growing pains.
Yeah,
but we got through it.
What do you think you know now that you wish you knew back then about blending the families?
Just
that maybe
setting
could have made
boundaries,
it easy.
but positive boundaries. I think sometimes when people use the word boundaries, they think, oh, it's just for negative stuff. No, you can set positive boundaries in lines of communication.
What's an example of that?
I don't talk to either of my child's mothers after a certain time.
Okay.
Right? Just out of respect. They're both married now. But even then, I never set boundaries because in my line of work, I'm talking to people 3, 4 in the morning sometimes.
Yeah.
So I never had boundaries in my head, in my mind. So people can call me, text me, or talk to me about anything.
Yeah.
But I didn't set those boundaries between anything. There was no structure.
Yeah.
So what happens when there's no structure? It's just all over the place. My wife don't play like that. She has structure.
Yeah, she's
My
an
wife
accountant.
is a woman. She's a woman. I have to make sure I'm a man for that. So I had to set boundaries. And we just had to make sure the communications were on point. Like I had to make sure I was on point.
Yeah.
So it was a lot.
Yeah. Your older kids, did they ever show like any jealousy towards the younger kids?
I ain't that type of dad. So I feel like that's why I said the mother of my child. I don't consider them single mothers when we weren't together because I'm
You're still
full-time
part
dad.
of their lives. Yeah.
At one point, my oldest biological daughter, she was in Florida, so that was a little bit more tough.
Yeah.
But then she moved to Georgia, so it was a lot easier now. So, but yeah, man, just setting that communication and being there. I just always promised myself that I would talk to my kids and be in their lives as much as I possibly could. My 2 older kids, they are my industry babies, so they will come with me. You probably saw Lil Rari a lot.
Yeah. He used to be little, but he ain't little no more. He
about to be taller than me.
Wow.
But I would have to I didn't have a babysitter, so they used to have to come to work with me.
Yeah.
And I worked at night. Like I did a night show on the radio. So I get off at 10 o'clock and then they sleep in the back seat driving home. So yeah.
That's something. I think about that because, well, I don't have children. I've dated somebody who's had children or had a child, and like talking about setting those boundaries and expectations and stuff just so that there's no confusion. Sometimes it seems like nobody ever brought that up before.
No. And I think, we're I'm first generation, like go to college, live this lifestyle type of thing. My mom and my dad, they went to work, came home same time.
Yeah.
I go to work after everybody come home. And my schedule, and keep in mind, I was doing parties since I was 19.
That's a long
so
time.
Making money to me was fun.
Yeah.
So I'm still immature in a lot of things that I'm doing because I'm over here, we throwing shots up, I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody else has a serious tone and I don't.
Yeah, you get to have fun at work.
Because I get to have fun at work and I'm lit.
Yeah.
So, I just feel like I had a lot of growing up to do, but mine was delayed because of the line of work that I do, because it's literally so much fun. I get to play video games at work, and we're doing interviews, and we're breaking records and all type of things. And
talking about things you're actually interested in, not spreadsheets.
And not clocking in and like, oh, why am I here? And I'm off work, and now I got attitude.
Yeah.
I never thought none of that stuff out.
So what made you mature?
Okay.
Or who helped you mature?
This is a good one. My kids, actually. They kept it 100. I was really mad at my son for messing up some Yeezys I bought him. They were like $300. And he was just jumping in puddles. I just kept saying, dude, you messing up these shoes, bro. I just bought these for you, cuz. Like, what is wrong with you?
You do not treat your Yeezys like this.
And he was like, Dad, I just want to hang out with you. I was like, it was just that moment. I was like, okay. And at that moment, I got so humble. I was like, damn. I just looked at a lot of the things I spent so much time trying to become successful. There was a lot of slippage there of spending time, because I kept saying, yeah, I got you. But the career is so demanding and immediate because you don't make no money until the end almost. Right. And that's the weirdest, most terrible, most discouraging thing. It's almost like you start making money at the finish line.
Yeah.
At least in other jobs, you can start making a little bit of money. You have the growth track. They literally tell you, okay, well, this is
building on something.
Ain't no build nothing. You got a brand, be out, be here, be there, do all these things and make a lot of sacrifices. Those sacrifices were spending time with my kids.
Yeah.
So once they told me that, I got humbled recently too. My 16-year-old, she's gonna be 17. She humbled me about 4 months ago.
What happened?
Yeah, hey Dad, you need to spend some more time with me.
Ooh. And what did you say?
I said, man, I'm sorry. I didn't realize we didn't spend enough solo time. And they're individuals too. I can't just take them all out to eat.
You cannot.
You can't just take everybody out to eat.
It's not the same.
You can do that, but you got to spend time with each one. Each one is different. I can't just take this person ice cream and that one person ice cream. We got to go do what you want to do.
Every little solo.
You got to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot.
It is.
You got to stop and do that.
I've had that talk with my mom before, even recently, and I'm old. Like, she's not parenting me no more, but she's my
mom
parent.
told me.
And I'm like, hey, I don't live here. All your other kids live in DFW. I don't have an issue with any of my siblings. I love them, but sometimes I want some one-on-one time with you. You don't know what's going on in my life. Their lives take up so much more energy. They don't always need to tag along. And then my one sister got 11 kids too. So she coming and those kids coming. And I love my nieces.
Now it's lit. You turn up and it's, could be a runny nose, a poopy diaper. It could be something.
Yeah, I'm hoarse right now because those kids came down here and now they got my throat wrong. But yeah, having individual time with your parent, with your kids balance is hard. If you were to take like a mental health day tomorrow, what would you do?
I'll go shoot some basketball alone. I would get a little massage by my little Swedish guy, Stonecrest Mall. Do not go there. That is my spot. Don't get that crowded, please. I'll get me a nice little Swedish massage, and I'll go hike Stone Mountain or Arabia Mountain. I'll go hike.
When you are having a bad day, and maybe it's your wife.
This is so funny because I asked this same question on my podcast.
You did?
Yes.
When you're having a bad day, who do you call? If you don't want to just deal with it yourself.
The person who I would call is no longer here. It's my grandma. But I do call my wife. There is a version of our marriage where I still believe that I can lean on her to, hey, I'm having a really bad day. I say one time for Money Long, she said she doesn't call them bad days. She calls them moments. She takes a nap. I don't want to talk it out. I want to work it out. I want to hike. I want to meditate.
Like do something physical.
And I want to solve it. Whatever is making the day go bad, I want to solve it so I can get it out the way.
What if you can't solve it?
I'll let it breathe. I'm going to solve it. We're going to figure it out. Even if we can't solve it, we're going to figure out how to move past it, maneuver around it.
Okay.
Or make some type of ease with it, whatever makes sense.
Do you think that now with so many people talking to men specifically about your mental health and like it's okay to not always have it figured out, it's okay to have a bad day, do you think that it's been helpful for you hearing more people encourage it?
Man, listen, and the crazy thing is those clips don't go viral.
They don't.
It's always the ignorant stuff that goes viral. I literally had 2 mental health experts. They were identical twins. And that podcast episode on my Ball Alert show had the lowest views. But we were talking about the most deep and personable things. Like, why does law enforcement not have a therapist handy? They dealing with so much trauma daily.
Every single day.
Like, dude, that's probably why you got an attitude when you giving me a regular ticket, big dog. Cause you done probably arrested little whatever.
Yeah.
10 minutes ago, and he probably stepped on your shoes, spit on your face, or some type of crazy stuff, and you giving me a hard time because I made it right because I didn't stop all the way.
Yeah, and I've stopped. I have my license, registration,
but I just say like mental health is just so important. We don't take it serious. I don't know why Black people don't take mental health.
Everybody wants to sweep it under the rug and just go.
I actually graduated, so I don't do weekly therapy anymore. I do it once a month now.
Okay.
So I just graduated from weekly to once a month. And first thing one of my cousins was like, hey, bro, you ain't crazy. You good?
It's not about being crazy, though. It's about wanting to have peace. It's about wanting to have peace in your life. I have done therapy as well, and it can be really difficult sometimes. I will say this. Sometimes I was having too much of a good time just chatting about life in therapy. So I did have to bounce therapists because I felt like I was having tea time and talking to my homegirl. And I found that I was being a little impatient because I'm like, fix me now, fix me now, fix me now. You're not fixing. We're just talking. This is not a podcast. Right. So I had to get over what I thought therapy was supposed to be, which is not going to be a quick fix. I'm not going to be fixed in 30 to 60 days.
We're human and you're always growing. I just feel like it's always good it's like having a coach.
Yeah.
You know, life coaches are good to have too. We actually have one at my job, so it's easy to talk. But I feel like a therapist or a coach or somebody that
I have a love-hate relationship with the life coaches.
Okay.
Because I be wanting to know, where's your credentials?
Okay.
And what are you coaching me towards?
That's a great way to have. But see, you are you have an advanced mind. So I feel like a coach would have to find where you need coaching at.
Yeah. I got an idea of where I need it at. And so I just need to make sure that we can be on the same page and that you don't have another idea. I've talked to a lot of like relationship coaches, life coaches, and some of them, whenever I listen to their ideologies and their coaching, it seems very specific. Like you want all of your clients to be on this path.
You definitely have to align with
the coach.
With the coach, the therapist. I feel like, because I went through a couple of therapists, I'll just do one session, two, and then fill it out. And then I feel like you get one that fits your personality, because you're different. Your life coach or therapist may be different than mine.
Right.
I like people who keep it 100% funky. Like, I don't want you to sugarcoat nothing.
Please don't, because I'm not gonna get it if you sugarcoat.
I don't need you dancing around it. Let's go through the door.
Yeah, call me out.
Call me out. Certain people don't communicate that way, don't receive information that way. But again, you're in communication. See, when you're interviewing somebody, you're kind of breaking down how this interview is gonna go based off of the vibe they're giving you.
Right.
So you basically know how to read people really, really well. So you're reading your therapist, you're reading your like.
And how you like turn that off in my head? Job. Yeah, like turn it off. They need to read you.
Our job. So you gotta kind of like, you gotta walk through. See, my therapist was like, hey, look, I don't need you to be Ferrari right now. I need you to be Sean.
Yeah.
Who is that? But see, my wife be calling me out too. She'd be like, hey man, you acting like Ferrari.
Ooh.
I'm like, for real?
What's the biggest difference?
Man, I can't tell you. You gotta bring her on the show, but she ain't gonna come because she hate attention.
Oh.
My wife, you would probably have to see me and my wife at Publix or something. Like, she don't like.
Yeah. I've seen her, but I've never heard her speak. Now that I think, she's quick.
She is a ball of energy when she rock with you. But outside of that, if I'm doing some industry stuff, she ain't really feeling. She don't like the fakeness of our industry.
I feel her on that.
So she'd be like, nah. Who gonna be there? Oh yeah, I like her. I'm coming.
Yeah. It's like that sometimes, being around people can be quite.
Because you gotta be bubbly. I mean, we gotta have a good representation of who we are and what we're trying to portray.
Especially if you're doing parties, you want people to want to party with you and have a good time.
On the radio, I gotta be in a good mood no matter what.
Yeah. And it's like nobody cares what you went through that day. But I'm glad to know that you do have somebody to talk to, like whether it be your friends, your wife, your kids checking you and calling you out, or the therapist. We're going to move on to the hot takes.
All right.
And I want to get your hot take on a situation. You tell me what you think about this line of thought and expand on it. Okay, so men are taught to be protectors, but no one teaches them how to protect themselves emotionally.
Damn.
What do you think about that?
I mean, that's real. You think about it like, I don't do this when I parent. You just think about just normal when two kids fall down. Your daughter falls down, you pick her up, and you're like, oh my God, are you okay? When your son falls down, you don't do that to him. You literally be like, get up, you good, come on, let's keep walking. That's basically teaching him not to use his emotions effectively. Like, keep in mind, you don't want him to be, I mean, it's just, I gotta be delicate with my words because I already know. But you just want to teach them to be able to use their emotions and to protect themselves emotionally too. But we've never had those conversations. I don't know why they were lacking, but in other races, they have those conversations for sure. I remember a classmate of mine in middle school, his mom passed away. He was in counseling. We thought he was tripping.
Yeah.
He's a great young man now, you know what I'm saying? We the same age, but like he was in counseling in middle school. As a kid,
yeah. It's different.
I'm in counseling as a middle-aged man. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I wish I was in counseling and you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Do you have your kids in counseling?
This is something that I've been speaking to them about. I'm very supportive of them, and I suggest. But we haven't had any nothing that they will be like, oh, it's like so much trauma. that I feel like it's needed. But what I try to do is allow them to have an open space to share things with me.
Yeah.
So just in case we do need to do counseling,
they can tell you.
Yeah, we can get that taken care of. So yeah.
Yeah.
They do not, but I try to have an open door policy where like, look, I don't care if you're gonna get in trouble. Just let you know I'm open for you to tell me whatever you got going on.
Yeah.
Kids be keeping secrets.
Oh yeah, I would not tell my parents anything. Either one of them. I still keep a lot of secrets.
I was bad, so I be known.
You were bad?
I was a bad kid.
I wasn't even bad. I just didn't want to talk to them. I didn't think that they would get it. I felt like they were very stuck in their ways. My dad, he only wanted to have fun. My stepdad, and he told me that as an adult. We were having a meeting the other day and I was talking to everybody. I was like, yeah, when I talked to my dad about how I felt like he could have done a little bit more and been like a bit more emotionally available. He was like, well, he was like annoyed that I even brought it up. And this is as grown people. He's like, we don't live together and I just wanted us to always have fun. I just want to have the fun memories. And I'm like, this is not a TV show. You don't get to be a TV dad that just gets to have fun. You gotta.
Sometimes he's reflecting something that he didn't get that he's trying to provide. So
Yeah.
Not saying that that's the case, but sometimes what we do, like I got some bougie kids, and I have to remind myself that they didn't grow up like I did.
Yeah.
And I created the iPad and the internet for them.
And they got the fashion. They got the fits, they got the shoes, they got all this stuff.
I had to cut grass to get a couple of pairs of sneakers. You know what I'm saying? And I kept saying, yeah, I did this. I did this Robux and allowance and
I hate those Robux.
Internet and iPads and phones. I did that.
Yeah.
But I kept saying when I'm a parent, I'm gonna be that cool parent. And they still look with my camera, they still ain't gonna think you cool.
They're not.
No matter how much people think I'm cool, my kids be like, yeah, my dad.
Yeah. And they think that you're old. Like my nieces think I'm so old now. They thought that I was younger than my sister because I'm not married. I don't have children. Huh?
How old are your nieces?
They are 15.
So that's the age where you're not cool.
And 5. Yeah.
Well, 5 probably thinks you're super cool.
Yes.
11 probably thinks you're still cool.
She's
but
like,
once it started to change when they feel themselves a little bit, and then when they start learning economics and like, they ain't got no money.
Well, they thought I was rich.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
normal.
I don't have kids. This is the difference. So like,
Yeah,
I get to live my
expensive.
life different.
Oh, for
so
sure.
I can we can go. There's no kids meal here. We're eating at places, but we're really picking this. I'm a bit selfish. I don't want to eat at the Happy Meal spots. We're having sushi. And that's another thing. And I do encourage them to learn more about economics because I am not rich. And they're getting bigger.
They're not going to understand that until they start having to pay for their own things. Mm-hmm. And that's like my 21-year-old. She is starting to understand. Y'all making this happen every month?
Yeah. Prices are going up.
Eggs is a little...
Yeah. Yeah, life is high.
Car insurance costs what?
Why is the insurance so high? Do I even need it? Yes.
Yeah, because you're not 25. Mm-hmm. You're under 25. Wait, I got to do this. I got to buy my own girl. I got to do this. I got to do that. What?
Yeah, now you need to be nicer to me. See why I was stressed?
No, it just literally humbles them. Mm-hmm. It just, the appreciation starts kicking back in, and they be like, yeah. So,
Imagine if you didn't have
shout out to my kids,
that.
man. I got good kids.
You do have good kids because they haven't really done anything. They're telling you they want time and that's it. Yeah. Not even things. They messing up the Yeezys. Okay. Last part is the advice. So this is a question. It's pretty quick. The question or the situation is, this person says, I feel like I'm losing myself trying to meet society's expectations of being the perfect husband and father. What are some ways I can try to find balance and stay true to myself?
I would not seek perfection. That is the most false thing that we can all do, to try to be perfect. Mm-hmm. That sometimes sets you up for failure because you're going to try so hard and it becomes overwhelming because you're chasing something that's not obtainable. Perfection is not real. And then I would say, be unapologetically you, but also respect your spouse, your partner, but put some respect on your time and how precious and how much your time is worth to the people you love, and vice versa. I would just say, you know, as a man growing up, I feel like we don't grow up until like we're at least 35.
Ooh.
Because men grow up. I'm making a call on men grow up based off their experiences. And if you don't really have a lot of those, it depends. You know, I've had some failed relationships.
Yeah.
And then you kind of, at a certain age, you know what you want and what you don't want. I feel like women, you guys know what you want and what you don't want way younger than us.
Yeah.
We kind of not thinking about that. We're thinking about making some money and being successful. And then once we're successful, some men will say, okay, I can focus on this right here. Because it's hard for us to focus on both.
Yeah.
To trying to become successful, trying to become the provider or a good mate, spouse, or whoever, a good partner to somebody else. It's hard to do both, man. It's really hard to do both.
So instead of him trying to focus on being perfect, what would you tell him to focus on instead?
That's a good question. Try not to be perfect, man, and understand that you're a human being. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail. I would just say be as authentically you as possible. And that is not perfect. We are human beings. We are not perfect. We're going to have bad days, say things we may not mean. You want to try your best to be as positive and set boundaries around yourself. That's a hard one because you can't be perfect.
Yeah,
I would say overly communicate with your spouse, though.
You said overly communicate?
Yeah, I would say definitely overly communicate with your spouse. Set a work-life balance that makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't look at somebody else's work-life balance and be like, oh, yeah, we're trying to accomplish something like that. Nah, that's for them to. I feel like relationships are tailor-made for the two people. Whatever works for those two people. That's why when things get posted, I'm going viral right now because I said I don't hang out with my single friends. I hang out with my married friends. I still hang out with my single friends, just not all day, bro. I don't want to hang out with y'all.
They hang out too long?
Yeah, I was single. I know what y'all thinking, talking. What I'm going to say? Oh, yeah, you can't do that. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to hang out with the guy who I can identify with. He going to let me understand that, oh, okay, his wife crazy too? Bet. Cool. I ain't the only person on this planet that feel this way about that. Cool.
Sometimes you want to be around people who you can feel like you can relate to. Because I don't want to hang around married people all day.
See, you talking smack.
Yeah, I'm saying like not all day. I can hang out with y'all. I like to learn, but it's like, okay, sometimes it's boring. I don't have kids. I don't have a husband.
But this is real.
I don't want to talk about the stuff that y'all do on an everyday basis.
Yeah.
I'm going to go home.
Nah, for sure.
And that's okay.
Cool. I was about to say, that's cool. That's okay.
Yeah, I can hang out sometimes, but like, I will fall asleep on y'all.
I got to ask you a question before we go.
What is it?
Why is it that women never know what they want to eat?
You know, and I am that woman. You know I am.
You know what? Not women, females. All the way from my 7-year-old to my wife.
You know, I can tell you what my issue.
However, we living with women, nobody knows what they want to eat. And I just be frustrated.
It all.
I need a tip. Give me a tip.
I don't have a tip because I'm that person.
Cut the show.
I'm saying,
cut the show.
I literally have spent 3 hours on DoorDash trying to make a decision. I want a sample of everything. So I just wish you would pick a place and then I can pick some things.
You should pick from the options. That's the purpose of the option.
Pick one location and the options I'm picking from are the menu. Because that's going to be hard too. I want about 3 appetizers, 1 or 2 entrees, so I don't want to get what you getting.
My wife and I are so bad, I literally say, well, I'm getting Firehouse today. That's what I want. Let me know if you want something.
And that's a good plan. I like to go to places like Pont City Market and Krog Street because it's so many different stalls. Yeah, the indecisiveness, I don't know what it is with the women. I know for me, that's what it is. Y'all chime in and leave a comment and let us know. I don't know. I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to add it to the prayer list and bring it up in therapy. Thank you so
Click that up.
Make decisions. Thank you so much, Ferrari, for stopping by and talking to us. I appreciate it. And good luck for everybody trying to be a good husband and a good daddy.
I want to say I'm proud of you. You've been doing a great job. She used to be an intern at the station I worked for.
Yeah. Many moons ago. And that was a tough time. I'll tell you about it in another sit down with London. All right. Bye, you guys.